Eamonn Holmes, wheelchair hits female producer, as GB News bosses launch investigation after set incident. Eamonn's colleague was allegedly left, bruised. GB News has launched an investigation after Eamonn Holmes' wheelchair knocked into a young female producer, according to reports. The television news channel is said to have received a complaint from his colleague after she was bruised in the alleged incident. The Mail on Sunday claims Eamonn's chair knocked into the producer after she told the employee pushing him that he could not return to the set. Eamonn, 65, is said to have taken a toilet break but that the cameras for his breakfast show were rolling when he came back. A source told the publication there were frustrations during the conversation between the producer and the person pushing Eamonn, but that Eamonn did not do anything wrong. Eamonn is really struggling to move around these days, so, as part of the care that GB News are giving him, he will need to be wheeled to the loo if he needs to go during the program, the source said. Only this time there was some confusion over whether or not he could go back to his seat as the cameras were going and the show was being aired live. The source added, there were frustrations over it from some involved and the next thing the woman gets hit and she got a bruise on her leg. The Mail on Sunday reports that GB News Our department is looking into the incident. The Sun has contacted Eamonn's representative and GB News for comment. Eamonn, who announced his split with his telestar wife Ruth Langsford in 2024, has been battling a chronic health condition for 4 years. The former This Morning presenter is now confined to a wheelchair due to intense back pain. His chronic condition began unexpectedly in 2021 and he was rushed to hospital after suffering from pain he's never felt in his life. Soon, Eamonn was unable to walk without a stick to help him and a spinal operation in 2022 provided little relief. The pain was caused by a dislocated pelvis, which later resulted in Eamonn sustaining 3 slipped discs. While recovering from surgery, he fell down the stairs at his home in Weybridge, Surrey, and broke his shoulder. A further spine and neck procedure in 2023 also did little to alleviate Eamonn's pain. Last month, Eamonn suffered another nasty injury when he fell off his chair live on his GB News breakfast show. The presenter ended up on his back on set and it came just 2 weeks after he was rushed to hospital in another fall. Incredibly, Eamonn, who is now in a relationship with marriage counselor Katie Alexander, managed to carry on with the rest of the program and was described as a trooper by his concerned colleagues. At the end of the show, he told viewers, "The chair gave way and I was lying flat on my back with my head hanging off the set. The first hour or so I was okay because the adrenaline kicked in, but then as the morning went on I felt the aches and pains. The worst thing is that 2 weeks ago I was hospitalized for a similar fall in the same area, back of my neck, head and shoulders, and that's all come back." He added, "We're going to have to replace the chairs because I'm not the only one to have fallen." Eamonn has since vowed to redouble his efforts to walk again in a heartbreaking social media post. GB News launches probe after Eamonn Holmes' wheelchair hits female producer as he was returning to set. GB News bosses have launched an investigation after a young female producer was left bruised when she was hit by Eamonn Holmes' wheelchair. The Mail on Sunday can reveal the woman has made a complaint following the alleged incident 10 days ago. It happened as she attempted to explain to the employee pushing Mr. Holmes, 65, that the star could not return to the set to continue hosting his breakfast show following a toilet break because the cameras were rolling. Sources at GB News have told this newspaper that tensions ran high as the woman said it wasn't the best time for Mr. Holmes to return to his seat, although there is no suggestion that he did anything wrong. One said, "Eamonn gets wheeled on and off the set because his mobility is so bad. He is really struggling to move around these days, so, as part of the care that GB News are giving him, he will be wheeled to the loo if he needs to go during the program." Only this time there was some confusion over whether or not he could go back to his seat as the cameras were going and the show was being aired live. The poor young woman was doing her job and saying that it wasn't possible for him to go back on. There were frustrations over it from some involved and the next thing the woman gets hit and she got a bruise on her leg. It has been the talk of the studio ever since. GB News's HR department is now said to be looking into the incident. It isn't the first time there has been drama surrounding Mr. Holmes' breakfast show. Last month he fell off his chair while interviewing commentator Charlie Rowley live on air at 6:15 a.m. While viewers couldn't see him fall, a crash could be heard off screen and co-host Ellie Costello said, "Oh my gosh." It came after he was taken to hospital in April following a fall at home. Bosses at the channel are becoming increasingly worried about Mr. Holmes' health and about how long he is going to be able to host his breakfast show, which runs from 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. 3 days a week. He is currently chauffeured from his Surrey home to the West London set and back again. He struggles so much with his mobility, which has deteriorated following a double hip replacement and spinal surgery on 3 slipped discs in 2016 and 2022 respectively, that he is wheeled on and off the set. Mr. Holmes has been battling health issues since surgery in 2022, and it is said that he now has very little feeling in his lower back. In 2023, he said that he could no longer walk or look after himself. He is being supported by his new girlfriend Katie Alexander, 43, following his split from wife Ruth Langsford, 65, last year.